Hello, my name is Dan Forthian Myers, and this is my showcase for the Gravity Gun blueprint. Alright, so we start with the Gravity Gun pickup blueprint. On the component, when the player walks into it, we'll set the visibility on the player to the Gravity Gun that's on the player to true, and plays a sound and destroys the actor that's in the world. The key doesn't have any blueprints on it, and it's used for the blueprint locked door. This has a giant lock on it. And this part up here is all used from the Stackobot kit. And this is where the door gets unlocked, removes the lock, and it plays a sound. It calls the open door function up here. And it sets the visibility of the giant lock to false, sets the collision to false, and plays a sound. Then we have the player, a lot of stuff here, but I'll quickly go over it. Movement, looking, jumping, crouching, turning the HUD off and on. Then you have adding the UI to the viewport. They have the damage, makes sure to see if the player's alive or not, which was used from previous tutorial in this class. Very handy. And then it handles the game over. Then we have the pulls and push held object method. This is where if you push the wheel down or the mouse wheel up, it'll pull or push the object away from you. And then we have the grab the physics objects, excuse me. This is where if the player shoots, right clicks, and it lands on a valid object, then it will grab the object. And if you click it again, it'll drop the object. And it moves the component to a set location in the player blueprint. Alright, and then you have the shoot action, which is right clicking. This is where it gets a little complicated. You have it'll take the held object, or maybe not a held object. Sometimes it's also not held, and it determines where the line was drawn, and if wherever the line drawn hits the object, it will push the object in that direction, and it'll drop the object if it's held. If the object is held, it'll put the physics back to normal, and it'll push the object. Okay, and then we have the functions. I'm going to very quickly go through these. Drop removes the physics constraint on a held object and sets it back to normal. Then you have the trace. This is drawing a trace line and determines if the object that gets hit by the trace line, it makes sure it's a physics object is alive. Just make sure if the current health is above 0. Grab object. Make sure to see where on the object it got hit by the line, and wherever it got hit, it'll grab that object by the area on that object, and it sets the held object to that whatever object is being grabbed. And then push object, basically the same thing, determines where it's been hit. The line is hitting the object, and it pushes the object by that area. All right, then we have the sensor. I've taken the all the methods from the pressure plate blueprint from the Stackobot kit and modified it a little bit just to make it do it once. I don't want it to repeat. I just want it to activate the door or whatever it's attached to once. Wooden plank doesn't have anything in it. Game mode. This just handles the game over. So only when in the play, this is being called in the player blueprint, and then you have the player character or player controller. My bad. This makes sure to see if a game is paused or not, and if it isn't, it will pause the game, create a pause game widget, set it to the player's viewport, and turn off the HUD. And then this one is just, if it is paused, it'll turn off the HUD and pause the game. And then you have the game over widgets, game and pause game widgets. And that is it. Thank you so much.